Welcome to one of the best music schools in the world. Nashville's Lower Broadway district is a dozen or so clubs packed into 2 city blocks and features some of the world's best musicians in country, rockabilly, western swing, blues, and jazz 7 nights a week. Hank Williams III, BR 549, the legendary Shack Shakers, Hillbilly Casino, and many others cut their teeth and honed their craft in these hallowed honky-tonks. In just one night of filming, we caught Dave Rowe, Jeff Firebaugh, Dave Tanner, Zach Shedd, and Joe Fick all playing within a few hundred feet of one another. This is a place where young musicians come from all over the world and either get real good real quick or go home.
On the upright bass from Memphis, Tennessee, the rock star, the one and only Slick Joe Fick. Come on!
I didn't really know what I was doing until I moved down here, and then all of a sudden I jumped into the whole Lower Broadway game, and you're playing with, you know, Johnny Cash's old upright bass player, you know, all these famous musicians, and all of a sudden it puts that pressure on. It's like, I got to get good, or I'm not going to last too long down here.
Totally. One of my first gigs down there was with this guy. He's actually a great bass player who was playing guitar at the time. And I'm playing, and the guy seriously for 4 hours yelled at me on stage, just going like, "You're slapping on an Ernest Tubb song. What's wrong with you?" I'm just yelling at me. And the funny thing is, I have more going on in my career than he did, but I still took that lesson to heart. I go like, he's right. I wasn't playing Roy Acuff right, I guess, you know. So it made me really go, okay, what is that feel? You know what I mean? A shuffle ain't. There's a bunch of shuffles you learn down there. It's not just doom ka doom ka doom ka doom ka doom. It's all kinds of things.
If you look at stick time, if you look at time on instrument, though, Lower Broadway is the best school in the world because you go down there and you play for 4 hours a shift. And some nights I would do doubles. One day I even did a triple. I played from 2 in the afternoon until 2 in the morning in 3 different bars with 3 different bands. I was terrible, but I did it, you know. And the thing is that, you know, I was putting 20 plus hours of gig time a week in on my instrument. So if you look at people, you know, someone who learns traditionally and is a weekend warrior and is just playing at the bar with their friends, you know, I was putting more time in a week than a lot of those guys were putting in 3 or 4 months.
Sure.
Time on my instrument in front of people, pulling songs out of my ass that I'd never heard before.
I think it was everything. Of course, mine was divorce-driven. I got a divorce and I had to pay alimony and child support, so I had to take as many spots as I could, and it just really paid off, you know, to have to go down there and play and have to try these chops out and play with a lot of different drummers, and then getting the gig with Don Kelly. Of course, a lot of people know about Don Kelly. Just intense. Everything's too fast and too loud, and you play with that band for a week and go do a record. It's like doing it in your sleep. It's so easy, you know, because you got to really pump up to play that gig. You know, it's a real guitar-based gig, and Joe Fick, who's probably the best slap bass player in the world to me right now, took my place on that gig when I left this year. And I'm just really happy to have seen that happen too, because now it's his turn to go down there and play. And you know, of course, he doesn't need to practice, but you know, it's going to be a great experience for him learning to play from those older guys and the repertoire you pick up and all that. that stuff.
Yeah.
It's going to be fantastic for him.
Going to Roberts for 10, 12 years, watching all these great people play, and it's just, wow, man, I could be a part of that.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I just, started playing with Travis, and we were like kind of a young hotshot group down there, and we started getting like a ton of shifts, and before I knew it, I was playing 5 nights a week, every week, and I'm just like, yeah, you do that for a year or two, and you're definitely it's gonna whip your ass into shape for sure.
Yeah,